And welcome back to Woodsley Bees. Today we're going to have a look in the monster hive. It's 5 deep boxes, 50 frames, give or take. There may be a couple of boxes with 9 frames, I don't recall. But we're going to go through every single frame. I want to make sure there's no swarm cells, no queen cells, and I want to see if there's any honey maybe that we can extract, maybe knock them down a little bit. Let's see what we can do. This is the weak hive coming out of winter that have now built up to be the strongest hive after I split the other hive. All 6 hives are doing really well right now. So we'll have a little look around as well at some point today to see how everyone else is doing. We may not necessarily inspect everything today, but we're gonna certainly have a good look around. So let's get into this hive. All right, so I've got my smoker going, which is always important. It's always good to have smoke, some nice cool white smoke. Just gonna across the entrance with that. And around the back entrance, there's a little back entrance up at the very top. There's a guard beyond me already. And that's all right, that's all right. I'm having to use a step ladder to get up to the top of this hive now. Let's see how this is doing. Okay, so no bees at the top. Okay, so what does that tell me? Let's see if there's bees under the cover. Maybe they got too much space. Or maybe I'm just not seeing bees yet. It's well propolized, very well propolized. And yeah, there's bees up here for sure. So looking at the lid, the inner cover, there's a bunch of bees there, some comb that they've been building. No beetles. I don't see any beetles at the top. They have the Swiffer pad at the top. I see 4 dead beetles. That's it, just 4. So that's not too terrible. So I'm going to put the inner cover at the back of the hive. I know it's kind of hard for you to see because you're down there, but it's hard for me to see too. So there's bees on 1, 2, 3, not so much in the middle, and on the outside. So I don't know how well they're doing actually. I'm sure they're fine. Okay, so this outside frame, absolutely nothing going on with this outside frame. It is a beeswax foundation. There's bees at the base of it, but they've done nothing with it. There's a bunch of propolis on the bottom of it, but they've done nothing with it. So I'm just going to put that to one side. Next one is also wax foundation with nothing on it. Oh, this side they've drawn out and they're filling with nectar. So also while I'm in here, I'm going to see how much of this wax I can take that they don't need. So that's all nectar, what's in there. There's no eggs being laid in that. I'm going to put this wax to one side. See how much wax we can take from these guys. Little tiny piece at the top there. I melted some wax down the other week. It's a messy process, but it's you know, it's usable. It's a usable product. I like to melt it down. and use it on frames that don't have any wax on. This frame, I got some great sunlight so I can see what's going on. This is fully drawn out on this side with nectar in it. Nice bit of crazy comb at the bottom I can take. This side is all drawn out as well. Again, it's all nectar, no eggs at all on this frame. So I'm just going to take that comb that's at the bottom, and then that can be utilized later on. All right. So the bees are up here working this comb, but there's still plenty of work for them to do up here. None of it's capped, but it's not fully filled yet either. So there's some there. It's a little thicker here. The comb is thicker there. It's got nectar in it. The rest of it's a little thinner. Comb doesn't have nectar. And on this side, there's some nectar, but not a lot. Again, we're going to take that. We're going to take that comb. Ooh. Everything's sticky. Put that to one side. And then we'll slide this frame back in. It's nice, I'm noting that there is no small hive beetles up here on these frames. They're quite loud. They are pretty loud. Let's hope the queen is doing okay in here. This frame, so they've drawn this out and they haven't filled anything yet. It would have been a lot of pollen on it in the past, and I've cleaned all that off on both sides, and they've redrawn all the comb out. So that's good. They can, as long as there's resources, they'll be able to fill that. The next frame is empty. This one they're starting to draw out. And then as we get to the other side, again we're looking at, wow, they're loud. There's some cross comb I see in the box below. So I don't think I'm going to look at any of these other frames on in this box. I'm pretty confident that it's all nectar, possibly capped at the end there. We'll put this back in and we'll take this box out. Get it down to a more manageable height. Ooh, yeah. Okay, I should be able to drop this down on the top cover. It's got weight to it, but it's not too heavy. If they fill those combs like they should do, it is going to get very heavy. Now this frame, there's quite a bit of crazy comb on top. All right, so looking at this box, the next one down, that's the fourth one up, ton of bees. So what I need to do is get them off the top so I can remove the crazy comb. One little spot at a time. Well, okay, so on this, in this box, I've got 9 frames, kind of spaced them out so they would maybe thicken the comb so that the honey would be on thicker comb. That's the idea behind it. Let's see if it worked. Again, lots of wax they've made here. So I'm going to have to remove all the cross comb that they've made. Gently pull this frame out. Seems to be quite a few bees on it. It's got good weight to it. All right, so I'm into this fourth box up and the camera's open because it is extremely hot today. So I'm not actually sure how much of this I'm going to be able to record. I'll get as much as I can, but there's a lot of wax in here to remove. So unless I see anything, I'm just going to go ahead and get this box cleaned up. And if there's any frames worth taking, then I'll take those. But if not, then I'm just going to clean out the wax and put them all back. So I'll get right back to you. All right, so I've gone through this fourth box and I've cleaned off all of the excess wax, and I've gone through every frame. There was no small hive beetles, no wax moth, no signs of any issues. There was a little bit of drone brood on the bottom of some of the frames, but that's to be expected. That's where she'll lay a lot of drone brood because there's more space. So now we're going to get out of this box, place it on the ground on top of the other one, and then we're going to get into the third box. Okay, so we are in the third box from the bottom, and like I say, we're seeing drone brood between the boxes. And that other box I just lifted, the fourth box, was extremely heavy. Yeah, it was a heavy box. A lot of nectar in there and honey, but they've still got a lot of capping to do. Now, just because it's not capped doesn't mean that it's not down to the correct moisture content. It might be good. It might be down to about 18% moisture content, and maybe they're not going to cap it. I don't know. I can get my moisture meter out perhaps and check it. Okay, a little bit of drone brood there. I'm not going to worry too much about that. There sure is a lot of bees. No question about that. A lot of excess wax too. Whew, yeah. Now I've never noticed a hive with more than one queen. I've heard of people saying that, you know, it's possible to have 2 queens in a hive. I would imagine that again would be mostly when it's a huge hive and they're separated by honey. Have any of you guys come across that? Have you had a hive where you've found that there's multiple queens? You know, and I don't just mean virgin queens. I mean queens that are active. because yeah, it's not something I've come across. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go through this box. If I see anything of interest, I'll come back to you. Like I said, it's a hot day. Ah, there's something of interest right there. Let me bring this in. This is the first time that I've seen this. That is a mite on a drone brood. I'm hoping you can see that. That's the first time I've seen one, so on a drone brood. So these girls likely could use an oxy. You can see it moving around there, little thing. I'm hoping you can focus and see that. But yeah, that's a mite, a varroa destructor mite. Okay, so I'm in the third box up, and the outside frame was all honey, so I actually took that one. This next frame is worker brood, which is indicating we have a queen in here. So the queen is actually still in here. I'm going to see if I can find eggs. There's larvae on this frame. Very hard to see if I can see eggs though. This is a wax foundation frame. The other side is all honey. So I'm going to leave that as is. I'm not going to touch that. Take a little. I should have took the wax off, but there's a little bit of wax I'll get off of it. And we'll keep moving through the hive, and if I see anything more interesting, I'll turn the camera back on. But it's going to be short bursts today because it's going to be a long inspection and it's super hot. I just want to show you this frame of brood, an excellent frame of brood, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think that is wax moth. That's a wax moth larvae right there. So we got him before he pupated, and I don't see any issues as far as, you know, chewing through the comb or anything. So that's Saved by the Bell there. I'm pretty sure that was a wax moth larvae anyway. Pupate in a cocoon. I will have to look at the edges because that's where they go. Any spot where the bees can't get to is where they'll lay their eggs. So all along this edge and this edge is where you've got to make sure there's no wax moth. Just an example. I mean, you'll find them in other places too if you have them. You know, it can get out of hand if you're not careful, if you don't inspect. If you don't inspect, then you don't know what's going on. So when you ask questions and you haven't even inspected the hive, it's hard to get an answer from anybody if you haven't looked inside the hive. Okay, I'm going to go back offline and we'll carry on sorting these frames out, making sure there's no swarm cells or problems. Alright, so I've been through this third box up, and I've actually taken 2 frames of honey out and replaced them with 2 frames. I found lots of honey and lots of brood, so there's half frames of honey with brood throughout this whole box. So now I'm going to take this box off and I'm going to go through the second box. Okay, so I'm going to point this out to you. There is a mite right there, right here. It fell off. Well, there was a mite. So I have seen 2 mites on drone larvae. So we do have mites here. I don't know how many, but we do have mites. So I'm going to do the same thing again, go through this box, and we will see what we can find. Alright, so I found some younger brood here. It's a fresher looking brood with more yellow, orangey yellow cappings. And then the older brood tends to be a little bit more brown. I think this next frame is a little more brown. And it could be due to traffic of the bees' feet all over it. Actually, it still looks pretty decent. And there's eggs and larvae down here as well. So I think the queen is most likely down in one of these two bottom boxes, because it's, like I said, it's lots of fresh larvae and lots of fresher looking cap brood. Up top it's older brood. So I'm likely gonna find her down here. If I find her at all, I'll probably find her down in the bottom two boxes, because if you can see in there is larvae. I try and get you the view, but I never am sure if you can see it or not. I hope you can, but that's a nice frame of brood, both sides. The other side looks pretty good too, and I think if you're in the shade, that's the problem. That might be the problem. I'm on the wrong side. But if I get myself between, if I'm behind the camera, then I cast shade on it as well, so it's not an easy thing always to figure out where to put the camera. Okay, the bees are getting a little bit antsy. I'm thinking there's going to be another frame of honey at this end that I'm going to probably take. So far I think I've got 4 or 5 frames of honey, and I have actually found a couple of varroa mites on drones, but just a couple. But where there's a couple, you know there's lots more. So we're going to have to do a mite treatment with oxalic acid. That's my preferred method. Lots of larvae down here as well. Lots of larvae and eggs as well. So she's not far from here. She's not far at all. If I find her, I'll be happy. I'll point her out to you, but I know she's here. That's great. I'm going to have to get some water in a minute. I'm actually very, very thirsty. It's so hot. And I've been at this for quite some time. This is one big hive with a lot of wax to get out. Down here is not so bad for the wax. It was up top where the majority of the crazy comb is. Down here I'm not finding as much crazy comb. So like I say, I'm in the second box up now. Lots of brood and larvae. Oh yeah, that's a nice frame right there. That's a nice frame of cat brood. A little bit of honey all around them. I doubt the queen is here because it's already fully laid out. I think I'm going to wrap this box up and go get a drink of water. Very, very dehydrated right now. Might be a good idea to jump in the pool at some point very soon. So this frame is a lot of eggs and larvae, a little bit of cat brood. So a little bit of cat brood and everything else is laid out. Man, they're going to have another population explosion. I'm going to say I might consider taking some of this and giving it to one of the other hives. I think that's a good idea. There's 2 hives that are pretty small, and this could help them out, give them a little bit of extra brood. I think that might be a good idea. Except I've got to get 2 hives open then. That's a nuisance. I guess I can put them in the tote temporarily, because that's going to be a good temperature for a short period of time anyway. Man, it is warm. And there is a lot of bees. Well, unfortunately, I have killed quite a few bees. It's hard not to when there's this many. Seriously, it really is. I don't like to kill them, but sometimes you don't have much choice because there's so many of them. Full frame of honey, and on this side honey and some nectar that's not capped yet. And some goofy weird wax thing there. I don't know what that was. Right, this last frame, I think I'm taking it. I think I am. So I'd have to put 2 frames back in here that they can work on. There you go. That's if there's no brood on it. Oh, it feels heavy. Yeah. That's all honey. That's a full frame of honey, probably from last year, and they finished it up this year, is what I'm thinking. This side is all new for this year, so that's a great frame right there. Put 3 new frames in here. This one's got some comb on it and these 2 don't, but that's given them some space and some work to do. I'm going to see now if I can get this box off. Yeah, I'm sure it's heavy. I'm sure it's a heavy one. Okay, where am I going to put it? Whew, on top of this. Oh, yeah. Okay, last box. All right, okay, so we're in the bottom box now. I just had to run inside and get a drink. I was very, 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 very thirsty. And I'm getting surrounded by bees. There are so many bees here. Smoke, I still got some smoke. I would love to find the queen. I really would. If I found the queen, I might move one of the other boxes to one of the other hives. I don't know. Oh, okay, so this is the frame that I put the cartridges on. So we're going to see if that was a success, or if the queen decided to lay in them, or if it's even, if they're even capped or anything. Yeah, I don't know what. See what the scoop is with them. Okay, so let's have a look at this one first. Oh, there's brood in them. That's a shame. Okay, so this is capped honey and open cells. capped honey and some nectar. Just gonna put that to one side for a minute. Yeah, that's a shame. This did not work out. And it's my own fault because I didn't use a queen excluder. I did not exclude the queen from accessing these. So yeah, that's a complete fail. But I think what I could, no, I can't even use them now that they've had brood in them. That's a shame. I should have known. I should have known better than. I just figured maybe she would play nicely. I guess not. Unpredictable. And it's funny because they put drone comb in there because they didn't have a pattern to follow, like the foundation, like these. It's funny, she didn't bloody lay in this one. This is white foundation, and yet she didn't lay in this one. Even the one I didn't want it to lay in. Bees are getting a little bit annoyed with me now. I've completely disrupted everything. I've torn them right down. There is hardly any brood down here. I wonder if I should steal this box. For the other hives that could use some comb. Mind you, there are a ton of bees in here. Yeah, no eggs. Some nice comb, but no eggs. The problem is I can't guarantee the queen's not down here. So I would have to remove all the bees. Yeah, the bees are really hitting my gloves, although I don't think they're stinging the gloves. Anyway, I wouldn't say they're particularly aggressive, but you might disagree. You might think they are being aggressive. They're all over me, I guess. Yeah, they're landing on me, but they're not stinging me. Come on. Oh, that one did. Come on. There's no brood down here. They're making it quite difficult. Yeah, when they're so aggressive, or when they're all over you like this, it's not a whole lot of fun. I'm just going to toot along now because I don't think that there is any brood down here. And then this outside frame, these outside two frames I think are honey, so I might steal them. Leave that one, it's not fully capped. So I need two frames for these girls down here. Okay. Wow. Such a lot of bees. Now I've got beading going on. Shit. Try and get these boxes back on. Alright, so that was not a lot of fun, to be honest with you. That was hard work, and I knew I was killing lots of bees, which sucks because you don't know. I couldn't find the queen, so hopefully she's okay. I believe she was probably in the second box, I think. That's where I think she is. I just hope that she's okay and I didn't hurt her. But I need to go in there, make sure there was no swarming going on, and see if there was any honey that I could take, and I did. I took about 5 frames, 5 or 6 frames, so that's nice. And they still have plenty of honey and pollen and nectar and brood and eggs and larvae and everything. They have a lot of stuff going on in there, man. Holy shit, I tell ya. Okay, that's all I'm doing with this hive today. So it is a hot one, so I might look into hive 1 and 3, possibly 2 today. 1, 2 and 3 possibly, because they're in the shade a little bit now, so that wouldn't be quite as bad. Plus 1 and 3 are fairly small still, so they're relatively easy compared to this hive, which is so busy, and they were on me. Once I got down to about the 3rd box, they were on me constantly. They're still on me a little bit, but not as bad. They're starting to calm down a little bit now. But I just hate crushing bees, and there was no chance I could do it without crushing bees. This box here is super heavy. I had a hard time getting it up onto the top. Really hard time. It was very heavy. So yeah, it's going to have to be taken away at some point soon, once they get everything capped. As I was going through, it was half capped and half open nectar, which is still possible that it's dry enough to take, but we'll give them another little bit of time, and maybe I'll check just that one box at a later date. Maybe I can extract that whole box. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to get into hive 1 now, so we're going to end this video on this note. Busy bees. Super strong hive. What a huge hive. Such a big hive. A massive hive. Humongous. An incredible hulk of hives. That's what that is. But wow, that's blown me away. Really has. So strong. I hope you get to see enough footage and that it's in good quality. So let's see. I'll get this on video and upload it as soon as I can. So thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye now.